Okay, just going to do two problems for this video. So we have the limit as x approaches negative infinity of this function here. And the thing about this absolute value, it's always positive, right? That's the definition of an absolute value. Always positive. Because it takes negative values and flips them positive. Okay. So if we're approaching negative infinity, well then the top is always going to be positive regardless. The bottom is going to be negative because we're going to do 4 times in negative. So when we look at this degree, this is a degree 1 over a degree 1, but we're approaching negative infinity. So we know that we're going to have a positive over a negative, and we know that we're going to approach this fraction coefficient by our horizontal exponent rules. So what we have then is that we're going to approach negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. Again, negative because the signs are different. It's positive on top, but negative on bottom. It's 2 because of 8 over 4. But it's negative because the top is positive and the bottom is negative. So that's your final answer, negative 2. All right, so now we have a piecewise function, which is always fun. So when x is less than 1, this is how the function's defined. When x is equal to 1 or greater than 1, this is how the function's defined. So approaching 1 from the right is going to mean that we're going to let x be bigger than 1 and approach it from that side, which means we're going to use this function, because that's where x is bigger than or equal to 1. And then when x is less than 1, that's when we're approaching 1 from the left. Okay, because think about it, 1 from the left we could plug in 0.99 or 0.9, right? 1 from the right we can plug in 1.01 or 1.001, so that would put us here. 0.999 puts us here. So we're just going to plug into the function that corresponds with the limit. So we have negative 1/2 times 1 plus 1 is going to be positive 1/2. Or we have, if we approach from the left, we have 1 squared minus 2, which is negative 1. So then for part C, it's saying, well, what's the limit as x approaches 1 from both sides? And we just found out that if we approach from the left or the right, we get 2 different values, which, okay, that cut out for a second, but which by definition means that the limit must not exist because we're approaching different things from the left and right. So we just write does not exist.